guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Tori, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. It has been a whole week, which is crazy. I told you guys I probably couldn't upload on Wednesday, and I was correct. It was insane. So it has been an entire week, and it just feels like there's something missing in my life, and that something is you guys. So I'm really excited to do this podcast episode. We are going to be doing Am I the A-Hole? Not all of my submission stories are going to be Am I the A-Hole, but I wanted to do this specific theme, and I felt like that community aligned really well with it. So the theme is like best friends stories and situations. So for this one, we will be doing Am I the A-Hole stories. Surprise! So I'm really excited about this. I have missed you all, and yeah, we're going to be talking about some best friends, and people are going to be asking for advice on it, so good times. Before I jump in, don't forget to follow me on whatever platform you are currently listening or watching on. I upload every single Sunday. I'm doing bonus episodes on Wednesdays for the next month or so, and then I'll be back to doing every single Sunday, Wednesday. But if you want to stick around, see what's up, then definitely follow. I also have my Instagram and TikTok linked down below. I'm Grace Tori, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Alright, let's go ahead and jump on in. This first one is called Am I the A-Hole for not attending my best friend's wedding? My friend, 27 female, asked me, 28 female, to be one of her bridesmaids for her wedding. She was my maid of honor 2 years ago, and before that, we'd always said we'd be each other's maid of honor. We've been friends for 20 years. When she asked me to be a bridesmaid, it stung a bit, to be honest, but seeing as she has a twin sister that she is close to, it made sense that she should be her maid of honor. The issue I really had with this is that at one point, before I did barely anything as a bridesmaid, she told me, "You don't have to stand with the other bridesmaids during the wedding." I found it weird that she was saying that, but I replied with, "No, I want to be there with all of you." After a bit of back and forth, she admitted she doesn't want me standing there with everyone because of my fear of being the center of attention and my social anxiety. She was worried that I would have a panic attack just like I did standing there at my own wedding. Honestly, it was bad during my wedding because I was shaking and couldn't breathe, and everyone's terrified reaction made it even worse for me. I had to leave and come back to just me, my husband, and my mother to continue our vows and such, while everyone else moved on to the reception. I couldn't even go join them until I was drunk enough to not feel embarrassed. I've been to therapy since then and have made huge progress regarding my social anxiety, and my best friend knows this. I felt hurt that she didn't trust me enough to let me stand with the others. I told her I was so much calmer and less anxious now, and I won't even be the center of attention like I was when I was the bride. She said she acknowledged my improvement but just doesn't want to take chances. She said she doesn't want to embarrass me again, and that she would just feel worried about me the whole time, and was also worried that I would ruin the mood of the wedding if I did happen to have a panic attack. I eventually told her that I'd just rather be a guest if I can't do all the bridesmaid stuff. On the day of her wedding, I was just so sick to my stomach with hurt and sadness that I was merely going as a guest at her wedding that I decided not to go because I felt so left out. Now she is very mad at me for making her feel bad at her wedding. She thinks I was trying to hurt her and make her feel guilty because of what she thinks was a reasonable request. I didn't mean to hurt her, but I just couldn't go because I was overwhelmed with hurt. The people I've talked to are all divided on who is the asshole in this situation. I feel bad for ruining her mood on her wedding day, but I still feel what she asked of me was hurtful. Am I the a-hole in this situation? I feel like there's a lot of ways to look at this. I see where both of you are coming from. Like, it is her wedding, and I can see how you being involved is, like, a really big deal. Because she was there when you had your panic attack, and I feel like I can see that being, like, a real fear from, like, a bride standpoint. Like, people can call it vain all they want, but, like, she's probably spending $20,000 to $30,000 on this wedding, and it would be kind of a big deal if someone, like, had a panic attack. But then at the other side of things, like, you are her best friend, and if you say that, maybe she should trust you. I think that not going altogether is not great, though. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, like, you should respect her wishes. I think that it's something you could talk about after. If it were me and I was, like, in the bride's shoes, I feel like I'd want, like, a trial run of some sort. Like, maybe, like, see you, like, I would need to see the improvement for myself before I would be like, yeah, okay. Just because I have trust issues. So, like, maybe, like, at the bachelorette party or something like that, see how you handle things. Because it sounds to me like it's bad enough that you probably won't even go to a bachelorette party. Like, you say that there's improvement, but how much of that is honest improvement and how much of that is you're just saying that because you want to be in her wedding. But I also understand your side of things and like how you say that you've improved and how you want to be a part of her wedding in that way. But like being a bridesmaid, honestly, is still a part of your. That's still a big deal. Like I was a bridesmaid in my best friend's wedding because like she also had a sister and it was fun. Like it was fine. I still helped with stuff where I could. Like I didn't feel left out. I know that her asking you to not sit with the other bridesmaids is hurtful, but I feel like she also is trying to keep your best interest in mind. Like none of it was with ill intent. I don't think any of it was like bad because like you gotta think, yes, like her not wanting you to have a panic attack is selfish in the sense that she doesn't want it to ruin her wedding, but she's also thinking about how like that would impact you. And so I see both sides of her, and I also see your point. Let's read the comments. First one, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, you are the a-hole. She's not the a-hole because she doesn't want you causing a scene at her wedding, which 100% would have happened based on your reaction to her decision. That is a very good point. So you're someone who, despite saying you don't like being center of attention, will find some way to make everything about yourself. There's no such thing as a maid of honor exchange program. Just because you picked her does not entitle you to the same position at her wedding, especially in light of what went on at yours, which is so beyond the norm that it's not even worth risking. You may think you've got a brand new, shiny, fresh, out-of-the-box ability to self-control. You do not. Your reactions are out of whack and frankly out of line. You need to get some more therapy, probably from someone else. You are not some wronged party. Again, you're the asshole big time. I agree. I was also thinking about that. That did cross my mind that, like, this is a whole lot of, like, her feelings and not talking about the bride at all when it's actually the bride's wedding. Like, all this is, like, boo-hoo, poor me, when, like, it's not her wedding. So that brings up a very good point. Like, how she reacted is very telling about how she does kind of want to be the center of attention and was only thinking about herself. So I agree. Yeah, big time. This was also only put up 14 days ago, so it's still up if you want to read the comments on there. But that one was a good one. That was a good one to start off on. So let's read the next one. Am I the a-hole for admitting to my best friend that my girlfriend is higher priority now because of the title girlfriend? I have mixed feelings about this as well, so let's see. I, 27 male, recently had a conversation with my best friend, 26 female, of 8 years on WhatsApp. She admitted that my new relationship with my girlfriend in 2 months has affected her. We used to text every day and meet once a week, but the frequency has decreased, making her feel neglected. She also told me that she feels that our friendship is becoming one-sided because it is now usually her taking the initiative to text me, but the fact is I'm going through a lot now, juggling between work, relationship, and study. She put me on the spot, asking if the relationship has put her on a lower priority list. I admitted so because of the title girlfriend, and she was hurt. I still love platonically and care about my best friend, and I wish she didn't ask this question as my answer might burn bridges. I understand her attachment due to our amazing times together and the challenges we faced in college, and we were always there for each other. She sees me as a brother, and I see her as a sister. It seems she feels betrayed by my new relationship, and me admitting that my girlfriend is a higher priority has worsened the situation as she has stopped texting me. I wouldn't have shared that if she hadn't asked. I feel that she may be overthinking about this friendship situation. Just because I prioritize my girlfriend over her doesn't mean I don't care about her. I always care about my dear friend. It will be a shame to lose my best friend like that, and I'll find a way to rekindle our friendship again. Am I the a-hole? Honestly, no. Because I think this is something that is definitely very controversial and varies from opinion to opinion. I don't think that she's jealous because your girlfriend is a higher priority. I think she's jealous because she wants to be your girlfriend. And when you were single and you were giving her all of the attention as a best friend, she was able to be your girlfriend without having to have a title on it, have like any sort of romantic relationship. She got all of the attention of a romantic relationship aside from like the romantic things. Like she was getting the text, she was getting the coffee dates, she was getting those things without the romance. And I think that when people like lose that, they tend to realize what their feelings are, they tend to get jealous, they tend to, like, it's kind of like when you're little and you're playing with a toy and then you kind of don't want that toy and so you sit it down but you don't want to give it away, like you just sit it down next to you and pick up another toy and then someone comes and gets the toy next to you and suddenly you want it really, really bad. That's how I feel like this is personally going. I personally don't believe that people can just be friends without one person ever having feelings. Do I think that at some point in the friendship no one has feelings? Yeah, but I think that at one point in that relationship, one person or the other, when it is like a male-female relationship had feelings for the other. And that's just my personal opinion. I know that varies 100%. I would love to know your thoughts on that because that is a hot topic. So let me know if you think a boy and a girl can be friends without having a relationship or like one liking the other romantically at some point. Let's read some comments. Oh, by the way, I don't think you're the a-hole. I think that you're doing the best you can. And, I wanted to add that it all depends on your relationship, whether you should put your best friend before you. If you're casually dating your girlfriend, I think it's okay to still be like, no, I'm setting boundaries. I want to hang out with my best friend, and you shouldn't cut them off completely. But if you're serious about this person, then yeah, they should come before your best friend because you are dating to marry. And like, if you're serious about them, you are planning a marriage and you're seeing your future with them. And you're not going to marry your friends. You're not going to live with your friends. You're not going to make life decisions with your friends. You're going to be making that with your husband or wife. So that is my thoughts on that. Like, if it's a serious relationship, then yeah, it should come before your best friend in certain situations, especially if they're of a different gender. Not the a-hole. I have a similar relationship. My best friend is male. My hubby is the most important person in my life, as it should be. Friends are important, but your partner is exponentially more important. Your friend put you on the spot and you were honest with her. I don't know what her motivation was, but this is a weird thing to ask. Honestly, TBH, I feel like this would just be the norm. You can let your friend know that you understand that she feels like you haven't been a great friend lately. Explain the stress you're under. Tell her that you may have been blunt and you're sorry it came across like you didn't care. However, also explain that the reality is that your relationship with your partner is your first priority. If she doesn't accept that, then she's not really your best friend. Someone brought up how trying to make your friend choose you over someone else in the honeymoon phase is just straight up like ridiculous. Like, if a friend is like, you need to choose me over your new partner, like, that's also true. Like, you should just kind of be understanding. I think these are like something that comes with time that not everyone is going to understand. To me, it sounds like his friend's motivation was open communication. You should try it if you never have. Also, call me cynical, but 2 months is barely a relationship. Him ditching his friends after that time shows his true colors. You framed his juggling of work, relationship, and study as ditching, which is disingenuous and on your part. She's mad that he's not texting her every day. I don't know how that's ditching her. Yeah, so the comments are really split, but overall the vote was that he is not the a-hole. This one's 181 or 181 days old, but it's still up as well if you want to find that. Am I the a-hole for excluding my daughter's best friend, quote unquote, from her birthday party? My 36 female daughter's 13 female birthday was last weekend. There's a trampoline park in town that offers sleepover parties where the kids can play for a few hours, watch a movie, and have a sleepover on the trampolines. Her school is very small, so there are only 20 students in her entire year. When we were booking the event, she said to only book 19 places. I asked her if she was sure she wasn't missing out someone, but she assured me there were only 19 kids in her class and I was just misremembering. Fast forward to her birthday, and this girl, Camila, shows up with an entire box full of gifts. Teddy bears, perfume, candles, nail polish, flowers, chocolates, etc. I remember picking up Mai from school at the beginning of the school year and seeing her chatting and being friendly with Camila, so I assumed they were quite good friends. When Camila went up to hug my daughter and wish her a happy birthday, she lightly pushed her away and told Camila she couldn't attend as we forgot to book her place. I apologized to Camila and her mother and offered to talk to the people in charge and pay for her place, but my daughter insisted that she couldn't come. She was very distraught over this and started sobbing. I pulled my daughter aside and asked her why she couldn't join, even though they used to be friendly and she'd invited every other student in her year. She said that Camila was just really weird, obsessive, and creepy, and she didn't want to be friends with her anymore. I asked her if she was bullying her, and she said no, she just didn't want to be around her. Camila's mother had found out about the party through another parent, and Camila decided to surprise my daughter knowing she hadn't been given an invite. I returned the gifts to Camila, apologized again, and gently told her that there weren't enough spaces. Her mother started screaming at me, telling me that I was a grown adult woman bullying a preteen girl. I told her that it was my daughter's birthday party. She could invite whoever she wanted. She accused me of raising my daughter to be a bully, and she couldn't just invite the entire class and exclude one girl. She claimed that she was my daughter's best friend, and she had the right to be invited. I told her that my daughter's a teenager, not a 5-year-old. She can't be forced to invite the entire class just to be nice. I said that I didn't want to raise a doormat. I didn't want to teach her to value the feelings of others at the expense of her own. If my daughter feels uncomfortable around someone, then I prioritize her well-being over that of a stranger's. Camila's mother is now talking to the teachers to punish my daughter for bullying. I tried to explain to her that my daughter was simply setting her boundaries. She shouldn't have to face consequences for that. Camila's mother said that I was an evil bitch who took joy in bullying little girls. Am I the a-hole? Oh boy. So, as someone who was once a middle school girl, I can say that they're the most evil things on the planet. Middle school girls are terrifying. If you're a middle school girl, I don't know why you're watching this, honestly. Hey, but uh, yeah, it's scary. It's horrible. It's terrifying. You just have to hold on for the ride because everyone's gonna be mean at one point. Everyone's gonna be bullied at one point. I know very, very, very few people who are like, yeah, middle school was smooth sailing. Like everyone had a tiff one time or the other. Everyone hated something one time or the other. Middle school girls are evil. Uh, the thing that gets me is your daughter lied about her not being in the class. Um, and then, so why would you, like, knowing that she lied, believe her that she said that she was, like, obsessive and weird and creepy? Especially knowing she's a middle school girl, and middle school girls tend to lie and bully each other, and very often will make up, like, a narrative about another girl, and then if they are, like, the popular girl, they will get everyone to believe it, you know? Like, she's probably telling everyone she's weird, obsessive, and creepy when, like, she's not. She just is friends with her, and then the girl decided one day she no longer wanted to be friends with her and was like, why is she still talking to me? I made this decision up in my head, haven't told her, but she didn't get the hint. Like, that's how middle school girls are. Like, they just are brutal. So, I think that you should have let her stay, considering she is the only girl. Like, you can't not invite the entire class. I understand where you're coming from, but you can't, like, if she's gonna pick and choose, I'm sorry, but there's no way she is super close friends with every single one of those people except for one. Like, tell her she can invite 10 people, but just not inviting one person is bullying, and that is mean, and that's singling someone out, which is not okay. Like, she can either invite, like, 15 or less people, I feel like is okay, or she can just, like, invite the whole class. But you're allowing her to be a bully. There's a difference between setting boundaries and being a bully. And if she was being honest and she hadn't lied, then I could totally see where you're coming from. But the fact that she lied and you were like, okay, this is definitely, like, I don't know if you caught on in the moment, but the fact that, like, you have to know now that she lied. And, like, you're like, oh, yeah, but she's 100%, like, true about everything else. I'm not looking into it further. Like, what she says goes. Then you're, like, she's probably lying. I feel like it's giving the energy of, like, your daughter is the popular girl that, like, bullies everyone. Sorry to say it. Let's read the top comment. The real issue here is your daughter lied to you about the class size so she could exclude this one person. It's possible that Camila makes your daughter uncomfortable, but it's also possible that your daughter is being unnecessarily mean. With teenagers, it could go either way. I think you should go to school and find out what's going on. You have no way of knowing if your daughter actually is being a bully until you find out for yourself. If she is bullying Camila, you need to know so you can correct the behavior. Don't be so quick to believe your daughter is innocent here. Someone told Camila she could come to this party. Ask yourself this question. How did she know where the party was and what time it started? Edit. Just so you all know, OP added the information about Camila's mom finding out the party details from another parent after the majority of people voted her the TA and suggested that her daughter was a mean girl. I was one of the first people who commented on this post, and that bit of info wasn't there. OP is as manipulative as her daughter is. Okay, so so the mom added the information about the mom finding out the party details from another parent when a bunch of people said that she was the a-hole and said her daughter was a mean girl. That was hard to understand. Let's read another one. I'm guessing that word got around that everyone was invited. Both OP and her daughter are mean. They should have allowed her in once she showed up with gifts. Perhaps the other kids told her everyone is invited. It would have been the gracious thing to do with so many kids present. She should not have been a problem. OP should ask her daughter how she would feel to be the only person in the class not to be invited. She should be teaching her kindness and compassion. I guess the apple didn't fall from the tree. I agree, and I'm tired of people, like, being mean and then being like, I'm just setting boundaries. Like, no, you're not. You are being mean. Okay. Let's do one more. This one came up 5 days ago. That other one should still be available as well, by the way. That one is from 50 days ago. And the user, by the way, is Birthday Party Drama, which cracks me up. So this one says, am I the a-hole for telling my husband's girl best friend she can't host my baby shower? I, 22 female, and my husband, 23 male, got married young. I was 18, he was 19. Both of us knew we always wanted to get married and start a family young. I started college 2 years ago, and he just graduated with a Bachelor of Biomedical Science. My husband has a girl best friend, 23 female, who I'll call Sam, who we met in college. Both of them grew up Baptist, and while he's left the church, they had a very similar childhood and bonded quite quickly. Despite what you may be thinking, her and I got along really well. She and I liked the same music, and we were both studying in relatively the same field, so she became a friend of mine as well. Since I found out I was pregnant, though, some issues have started to arise. We announced our pregnancy on social media after we told our parents. Sam texted my husband a congrats text and then told him to pass on her well wishes to me. She's been texting him nonstop with baby advice and what she likes to call quote-unquote advice for mama, which includes sometimes relatively targeted jabs at what I should eat. Honestly, I kept brushing the text off, but it got to a point where the conversations were less about the baby and more about me, which I was getting increasingly uncomfortable with because she wasn't texting me, she was texting my husband. My husband acknowledged this and has just started to show them to me and ask what I want him to do. I just told him to ignore them. When I announced I was having a baby shower and sent out the invites, words, I received a text from Sam. She said something along the lines of wanting to host my baby shower and set it up. I told her politely that my mom was planning on hosting it with the help of my sister and that it was a very special moment for them and I wouldn't want to take that away. Well, Sam ignored that message because the next day she came over and insisted we start working out arrangements for the venue. Red flags. Okay. I told her once again my mom and sister were hosting it and she told me that she should take her advice and let her plan it because she'd ensure that the baby shower would be better if she planned it, particularly because she'd be working on the menu. Whether it was pregnancy hormones or just bottled up rage, I told her that the jabs she's been making at me behind my back about my diet during this pregnancy to my husband are really annoying at that, and no, she cannot host this shower, and from now on, her unsolicited advice was not appreciated, especially if she can't say it to my face. That night, my husband's phones blew up with messages from Sam saying that he had no right to show her those messages, and they were just supposed to be health tips because Sam was studying nutritional science and only wanted to help her best friend and ensure a happy baby in life. I know she had somewhat good intentions and that she's a good friend of my husband and me, so am I the a-hole? There has been an update, but I'm going to give my opinion first. I think that even if she was coming from, like, a good place, she should have talked to her directly, obviously. She shouldn't be going through the husband. And I think that she's setting boundaries and the best friend is not being nice about it. She's 100% ignoring her boundaries and that's where the issue is for me. Like, that is what makes the best friend the a-hole. Let me see if I can find the update. So she gave more context. So let's read this. She has bullet points. Number 1 is Sam is in a short-term relationship. They've been dating for about 2 months and he's nice. I haven't talked to him much, but from what I have gathered, he treats her well. 2, I was severely underweight for most of high school. My mom was always very thin and so was I, but in high school I suffered from an ED for a while and lost a lot of weight very quickly. For the past 3 years, I've been working with a therapist and food specialist to maintain a good diet, and that has not changed since pregnancy. My OBGYN is happy with my health and the health of the baby. Sam does not know this, only my close family, friends, and husband do. I don't share that info with many people because I don't find it necessary to. Sam met my husband first before I met her. Husband and I had been dating for 3 years by then. We started dating in high school. She has never expressed interest in my husband that I know of. It was not his choice to ignore the messages, but mine. Pregnancy has given me a lot of unnecessary stress, and I didn't want to add to that by causing more drama with people. So if it was his way, he would have shut her down. I told him not to because Sam has always been a passionate person, and I didn't think much about the messages when they first started. That has since changed. What I found most weird about the situation was that I was apparently not allowed to see those messages yet. They were about me and how I was eating. Some of them were sort of snarky. The worst one I saw was along the lines of criticizing me for wanting McDonald's at 3 in the morning when apparently a Big Mac, a large fries, and a large vanilla thick shake is not healthy for the baby. I did cry a little bit after reading that. My husband did send a text message saying that I was allowed to crave stuff during my pregnancy, which she ignored. Husband and I are probably going to go low contact with her for a bit. Also, he rarely hangs out with her anymore, and if he does, he invites me, but I don't always go out because I'm tired. Edit. It was my choice to go low contact, not my husband's. Please stop criticizing him for his decision as it wasn't his. I'm aware this post has now become a place where many people are insinuating that Sam and my husband may have something going on. I assure you, they do not. My reasoning for going low contact and not no contact are my own, and it is what I'm comfortable with at this moment. Thank you. Feel free to leave more questions below this, and I'll try to update. Now that context has been added, there's also an update. I do want to add that since she added that, if Sam was that actually like a good friend to your husband, she would respect your boundaries because you are his wife. And the fact that she's not kind of shows she's not a very good friend. Anyway, update. Okay, so hubby and I phoned Sam today and talked to her about the issues we were having with how she was acting. I explained that I was very uncomfortable with the fact that she had been texting my husband, not me, about my pregnancy and eating habits, and that when she assumed she would be granted secrecy and she wasn't, she got mad. Sam explained that in the moment it seemed like a good idea not to text me directly in case she overstepped and made me mad, so she was hoping that if she explained things to my husband, he would be able to relay that info to me casually. She assured she just wanted to help protect and nurture the baby, and to that I said that this isn't her baby. I'm perfectly capable of making sure the baby is healthy. She apologized and explained that truly she only thought she was doing something good. Husband and I explained we are just going to distance ourselves a bit because the situation has not only made me uncomfortable, but husband also said that he needs to focus on his wife right now and Sam needs to take a back seat. I don't think she was overly happy with this, but she said okay. She asked if she was still invited to the baby shower and hubby said it may be best that she skips it, but I explained if she wants to, her invitation is still valid and she is still welcome. Sam did text me after the phone call asking if we can meet for coffee, so I'm seeing her tomorrow. I'll update you guys on how that goes. Honestly, I think she was just misguided. She's not a bad person at heart. Update 2. This will probably be the last update I do unless someone else happens, but safe to say after today, Sam is out of our lives. Essentially, I did go see Sam, and she was not alone. In fact, she brought her cousin, who is a therapist. About 5 minutes into Sam's opening monologue, I left. She explained that after hubby and I told her we wanted low contact, she realized that clearly the stress of expecting a baby had caused me to act irrationally. She wanted me to have someone to speak to. She even tried to dress it up by saying that, yay, I didn't have to pay for it. Anyway, I left. Hubby sent her a message saying we need distance and to not contact us for a while. This does not mean we are going low contact, we are going no contact. As I stated, she is out of our lives. She's a bit irrational right now, and we just want to minimize fallout, hence telling her for a while. Not to psychoanalyze, but honestly, I think Sam needs help. Clearly she cares, but it's too much, and honestly, it's insulting how little she thinks I can look after myself and my baby. Her overbearing personality has its limits, and honestly, I can't take it. Thank you for all of your support. And if there's another update, I'll post here. For now, bye. That was from 4 days ago. I don't see any more updates. This was a long one. I mean, I think that Sam is obviously the a-hole. Everyone voted that the mom and husband are not the a-hole. But the comments go both ways. That's a really good one to read the comments on. Even though it's only 5 days old, it has a lot. So definitely check that out. I think that those are all the stories I'm going to do. As always, I have more. If you want me to read them, just go ahead and let me know. And I will read more of those in another episode. I love you guys so, so much. Let me know what topic I should do next, what kind of stories you want to hear, and I'm happy to do them. As I mentioned earlier, I upload every single Sunday with bonus episodes on Wednesdays when I can do it for the next month or so, and then we'll be back to Sundays and Wednesdays. But if you want to follow and join the community, I would love for you to do that. Everything is linked down below, or you can just follow or subscribe on whatever you're currently watching or listening on. And I will see you guys in my next podcast episode. Bye!